F1, I think F1 is, as long as Codemasters hold the license, it's always going to be more about the vibes and the jankiness and not about like real serious sim racing. Which is why SFR is made the way it is. Not because I want to be weird, but because we're leaning into the fact that this is not a serious esports title. This is a janky ass, weird ass racing game that also has F1 brands in it and F1 teams, right? And we're just kind of leaning into that and making it work. You wouldn't want to host an esports tournament in a game that's like Mario Party or whatever, and you wouldn't want to do weird janky shit in a game like Counter-Strike or StarCraft. So you gotta lead into the archetype. We're gonna start this off with no formation lap again. We got rid of formation lap till the end of this game's cycle because of crippling bugs resurging recently. So it's lights out instantly. And Kogoda gets a great start and is overtaking Max. And with lots of contact, gets through and ends up in P2. And Lennart is brutally fighting Max as well through turn 4 now. Slots in behind Max. Miniko keeping P5. Let's see position change. Kogoda making up 1 position. Yep, that tracks. Casper with a great start making up 3 positions. And Ligout, utilizing that good car he has after that bad quali, is up 3 positions as well. Nikon losing 3. Let's show tires quickly. Ooh, a good mix of many different tires. It appears that Taco on stream was being a little cheeky and he misled us on purpose because he said soft medium was the strategy for AlphaTauri, where now it appears that they started on mediums, so that can't be true. Interesting. Back to positions gained. Zombo is in the mix here. Oh, Senna has oversteer. Through turn 13, Senna got a bunch of oversteer. Cost him so much time, and Zumble ended up running into him. And there was contact. Does Zumble have front wing damage? Does not appear like he does. Wait, is that Big Sauce with no front wing? No, he does have front wing. It just looks like he has no front wing because of the collars. Oh, Zumble going off there. Oh, yikes. Zumble losing all of these positions. Just as I was deliberating about Sauce's wing existing or not. Kind of poor spectating from me, but I'll do better next time. Ruletorn is already getting away from the other 3 boys in the top 4. It's looking great for Ruletorn so far. And it's Kogoda versus Max Martin versus Lennart for P2. Lennart still staying strong behind Max Martin, 4/10. It's basically in that gearbox. Casper with an amazing performance so far in the race compared to quali. 4 positions made up. And with the Alpine being the car that it is, it might be 5 soon. Because we know for a fact that Aston is better in general. Is it necessarily better on this track? No, we don't really know that for sure, but it's a possibility. Hey, Igzish. Igzish versus Big Sauce. And Taco is in there too. Taco's looking to get in there. What is up? Oh, never mind. It was just Taco teleporting around a little bit because of the ping. I thought that it's Igzish like moving around weirdly, but no, it's Taco. Lennart's still close behind Max Martin. This top 4 is getting away a little bit from Miniko, who is in P5. Miniko and the other Aston Casper, they're together P5, P6. They form this little Aston base in the order. And Ryu's teammate, Ryu, who is in P7, his teammate is nowhere to be seen. Back fighting for P12 with Williams. Pekka overtakes Igzish. Sorry, Zombo. And F1 Senna, after that little moment of oversteer in turn 13, appears to have no damage after that. Didn't make contact with any wall, just made contact with another car for a little bit. That cost him a position or two. Now he's in P11. And he's fighting Nikon in a way superior car, which is gonna be a problem for F1 Senna. For sure. Oh, Leonard is super close to Max. What's going on here? In turn 17. Max is pitting? Why is Max pitting? Did he have damage or something? What? He spawned in the pits? And then it teleported him back because that's how pits work? Lucky for him. He's going on hards. And he's changing the front wing. Okay, so Max did have front wing damage somehow for some reason. That was not visible to the spectators. Alright. So Max is gonna get that switched and go on a recovery drive here. And Ligold is now the top Red Bull in this race. And he's P8. Red Bull are in shambles for this one in Singapore. Which is funny because Red Bull also got wrecked in Singapore in real life. So that's like historically accurate almost, this race, you know? Looks like Ferrari's gonna win it. It could also be Kogoda, who's 2.5 seconds behind Ruletorn, but you know, all it takes is one mistake for Kogoda to get that lead here. And Leonard in DRS range of Kogoda. Max Martin has obviously disappeared from that top 4 since entering the pits to change his front wing. It's gonna be fun to see Max work his way through the field once he catches up to the AlphaTauris. He's gonna be making some overtakes. Oh, F1 Senna against Nikon here. Turn 14. Good place to make an overtake attempt. Singapore has many of those, even though it is often just smarter to rely on DRS. Will we see Alex get some points in this one as well? We were noting in quali with Taco how he's been practicing and having standout performance after standout performance this season lately, especially in the second half, I believe. I was saying that Max Martin dropped out of that top 4. Minico is here to replace him in the Aston. This P4 spot really needs someone whose name starts with M. So there is Minico to replace Max. We'll be keeping an eye out on Max Martin catching up to the AlphaTauris to see some easy overtakes considering the car performance. And Casper, who was supposed to underperform as per his own predictions, has had an amazing few laps so far. Ligo gets a time ban? Yikes. In a track with so few spots for track limits, with usually walls stopping you if you violate track limits, Ligo manages to get a 3-second time ban after 5 laps. That's nearly 1 track limit warning per lap. That is looking very dire for him in this event. Ryu challenging Casper with the DRS. Casper does not have DRS of his own because Minico is running off to fight for the podium. Minico, who I believe is P2 in constructors, so him fighting for the podium is par for the course in this season. Even though he's in an Aston and not a Mercedes or a Ferrari or a McLaren. Shows you how realistic performance can subvert your expectations almost as well as Star Wars The Last Jedi or something. I hope we don't get the same reaction though when that happens. I would hate that. Its neutrals is in shambles in the Twitch chat. Look, you've had you're winning constructors and drivers anyway this season. You should be happy. Sponsor goals though, right? Yeah. I don't remember how you're doing in those. I think sponsor goals were pretty easy this season. I think every team got them. We need to make them harder for next season. F1 Senna so close to Ligo now. In P9. F1 Senna has worked his way through Nikon and Alex from P11. Oh, Ryu gets Casper? No, Casper just pitting. Okay. Is it because of the... Okay, Casper the only one on soft tires. And we are also going to see if he had front wing damage. No, he's just switching from soft tires because they don't last as long. Alright, that's cool. So Casper, the only one to start on softs. That's why we just saw Casper pitting there. So currently there are 0 drivers on softs on the track because Max switched to hards when he was getting his... Oh, F1 Senna spun in an incident with Ligoat there. That's a big yikes. That's gonna mean so many positions for F1 Senna as we just saw him rejoin very safely and carefully on track there. Oh man, back down to P14. And the tires are super hot now, so he's still struggling, right? That's how it is in F1. You get spun once and then your tires just cannot recover that temperature, so you keep on spinning. It can be a very vicious cycle. Neutrals points out we haven't won constructors yet? Oh shit. I forgot. Surely you just need a few points to win constructors, right? Surely. Okay, we're gonna check on that after the race. I think it's 6. Oh, really? Okay, well, yeah, you're probably winning it then. If not here, then in the last race. But yeah. Oh, F1 Senna continues his unlucky streak here, as he as I was remarking with those tires, the tire temps go crazy when you spin once, and then it's very tough to continue the race at all. Only one incident can lead to that crazy spiral, can ruin you. And that's unfortunately what F1 Senna has got going on right now in Singapore. Which is also really bad news for all of our Alfa Romeo. There's no second Alfa Romeo driver to pick up the slack here. As with, similarly to Haas, it seems that the team is struggling to field drivers. Because, you know, real life happens to drivers, and they cannot attend sometimes. But then you gotta find reserves, and that's not always super doable. So, I just want to point something funny out. If you look at this order, it does not look like this league is realistic performance at all. It does not look like that at all. Like if I told you to guess, is this like realistic performance or equal performance, you would definitely say equal after seeing this order. You've got Red Bulls like in the back or in the middle. You've got an Alpine and a Williams in the top 10. Well, Alpine in the top 10 isn't that crazy, but the Alpine is P5, whereas you have McLarens and Red Bulls behind it, right? And Astons as well. So this order is looking crazy. And speaking of realistic performance not being predictable this time, we have a McLaren chasing a Williams. And this Williams is on the faster tire, yeah, but still. This is a tier 2 car fighting a tier 5 car? Yeah, pretty sure it's tier 5. Like, Williams is the worst tier. He's in range, he's got DRS. And Alex has to use a lot of battery to keep Nikon behind here. But Alex has about the same battery really as Nikon. Nikon's also using battery. And Nikon has had some hardware issues recently in the league. And some incidents, which caused Nikon to reach 7 penalty points. Which means Nikon has to be very careful not to cause any incidents, because he's gonna get like banned for 10 rounds if he gets 8. Which is gonna hurt. So he wants to avoid that. Casper, after pitting, making some moves, trying to get past these AlphaTauris quickly. Casper's amazing run in the first few laps was also partially due to his soft tires, which he is now paying for, racing at the back here. Because he had to pit sooner, of course. Whoa! Zombo! Zombo staying alive there. We just saw a crazy snap of oversteer. That could have ended Casper's race as well. So that makes it doubly scary. As it just feels bad to take out other people with your spins as well, you know? Anyway, Nikon still chasing Alex here for P8. This McLaren is fighting a Williams for P8. That sounds completely reasonable. Right in front of them we have a Red Bull, a Tier 1 car, the only Tier 1 car. Stuck on P7. And a few seconds up the road we have Henry in a McLaren, Ryu in an Alpine, so far doing a great job reserving. Minico in the Aston in P4, and the top 3 is Leonard, Kogoda, Rulatorn. Not in that order. And so far, Rulatorn, let's check the tire compounds quickly. Rulatorn is getting away from the pack pretty nicely, 4 seconds ahead of P2 now. That's safe distance. He wants it to be even wider in the future against the Mercedes, but so far he's probably feeling okay. And Kogoda is defending from a Ferrari. Kogoda's got to be feeling pretty good too, defending from this Ferrari. However, the Ferrari is on hard tires, which is significantly slower than the medium. So maybe Kogoda not feeling that comfortable. And Casper catching up to Big Sauce here. Oh, they're racing side by side. Return 5. Oh, someone just died? No, no one died. But someone lost their front wing, and we're about to find out who. Who was it? We need to know. Oh, it's Leonard. Oh, man. Leonard's not catching Kogoda now. God damn. We can't pull up the replay, sadly, but Leonard losing the entirety of his front wing triggers a safety car. And Max Martin is going to be real happy about that, because he gets to make some overtakes faster now after his disaster in the first part of the race. We're going to be checking the tire compounds. And Kogoda is the first one to enter the pits. No, Rulatorn is the first one to enter the pits. Kogoda follows him. Both teams go on hards. Minico switching from hards to mediums here. And Leonard, in addition to his mediums, has to get a new wing. I just realized Leonard's blunder in losing the front wing is almost, well, not almost fully, but because it's not that amazing, but it's pretty decently nullified by the safety car that it caused. So this problem kind of solved itself, didn't it, for Ferrari? And all it does is it influences other teams, other cars, in weird ways. Yeah, but now Leonard is stuck behind an Alpine and both Astons, so it's not like Leonard got, you know, great return on this, obviously. He was P3 before this. Now he's P6. Minico and Casper gotta be feeling good though. Casper on these older tires, I don't know, made up a bunch of positions though. And like he had to pit anyway because those softs were dropping off, so Max Martin is P14 after all the pit stops. Made up one position, I believe, after Taco pitted. And F1 Senna. F1 Senna had problems with spins and such after a little incident with Ligote. F1 Senna also should be probably pretty happy about the safety car. He's going to be able to get back on track quicker, make some moves, maybe even end up in the points at the end of this. I can see that happening for F1 Senna over the entirety of this race. Of course, this also means that the gap between Kogoda and Rulatorn is nullified, so Kogoda gets some chances here as well. We might see some battles at the front, which we were not seeing before. Leonard now has Henry behind him and Ryu ahead of him. Ryu should not be super difficult to dispatch for Leonard, but I don't see Leonard getting past Casper and Minico that easily. I don't think it's going to be super easy for the Ferrari. It would only be super easy for a Red Bull, maybe. It's neutral says screwed us. The safety car screwed you? I mean, it helps Max Martin, no? I don't know about Ligote. Ligote has a time penalty, so any safety car period just means the gaps are gonna get tinier. And he's gonna get hurt there, right? With this time penalty. Well, careful with the throttle there. Don't want to hit the back of someone. Everybody is pretty careful. I'm still used to F1 2021 when nobody had any discipline and under safety car. People just like went into the backs of each other all the time. It was a crazy time in SFR, but now everybody's way more disciplined after seasons of penalties were dished out. Also, honestly, probably the driving standards and everything got better in general, just because people learn and they get older and stuff. It's not really the same people, but many of them are. And apparently the league's competition improved in general, right? Which is only natural as we get more popular. F1 Senna still catching up to the pack here. Has F1 Senna got new tires? Yeah, switched to new hards. Yeah, that's great for him. He's going to be able to... he's going to be fully geared out for this huge comeback attempt, for this recovery run. Instead of these old mediums he had, he can start fresh on the hards. I don't think SC is going in, right? It's not going to go in? Yeah, it's not going in. So we're going to see one more lap of this. And one more lap of this means another opportunity for the drivers to screw up and get unfair 5-second penalties and ram people from behind. But we'll see. Maybe what I said before was correct, and this league has gotten better about this for sure. This is gonna confirm it. Why is F1 Senna in the pits again? What? Why? We're about to find out what's up. Softs? He's getting a new wing? He messed up? On the safety car? And has to get a new wing again? Yo. Okay. F1 Senna needs to get it together, but I suspect this might be the moment where F1 Senna does get it together. Like, surely this has to be it. Okay, F1 Senna on softs now. That's not quite as great as I was saying before, because I was talking about how he's gonna have this like fresh start. That's no longer true, because those softs are gonna drop off massively. So yeah, it's not amazing. But softs let you get positions quickly. Maybe he's just gonna do that and then like hold people up. I have no idea. I got no I got no excuses left for Alfa Romeo. Speaking of excuses, Ligo would love to serve this, but he can't, because 3-second time penalties cannot be served. And these gaps being tiny, thanks to safety car, that doesn't help people with track limit penalties. But hey, there's 17 laps to go. These gaps are gonna widen too. Wiltorn leading the restart here. As you see everybody warming up their tires. You can see them using the brakes. Look at the telemetry. Casper using brakes to warm up his tires. Have some weirdness happening between F1 Senna and Takao as they overtake each other. Gonna hide telemetry now because Wiltorn is getting going. And Miniko is so close to Kogoda on the main straight. And Wiltorn gets away pretty nicely. Nikon gets Alex in turn 1. Car advantage helping him. But good job Nikon staying clean. Credit to him where credit is due. We're gonna see Miniko dive down the inside here. Turn 7. Keeping the place in turn 8. And keeping the place in turn 9. And Kogoda can't do anything anymore. Hey, Max Martin. Oh no, he just spotted Igzish. Oh no. Igzish is in the bin. And will Max Martin earn that final penalty point for that? We'll see after the commercial break. Just kidding. It's going to be like in a few days because it takes a while to steward. That looked like Max Martin's fault, but I only saw that once, so I don't really know, right? Oh, my game is behaving weird. It's like laggy. Or was it because I had the camera on Leonard? Leonard's laggy. I don't know anymore. Leonard gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Not great for Leonard. Unlucky. Similarly to Lee Goat, he might pay the price in positions later. We'll see. Another safety car? You're kidding! Who is it this time? Someone lost their front wing again. Is it Igzish? No. Really? It's F1 Senna? It was F1 Senna losing his front wing. Oh boy. Alright. Well. That's gonna be another 3 laps of going in circles doing nothing. Let's do a quick recap. Miniko has overtaken Kogoda. He's now up to P2. Kogoda's stuck in P3 now, behind the between the Astons. Casper sticking in P4. Leonard caused the first safety car and lost his full front wing. Then repaired it, lost three positions, I believe. He's now P6. Ryu got that position from Leonard, as did Casper. Henry's in P7. Oh yeah, after that restart, Leonard got a 3-second time penalty, which is going to absolutely smash his chances of getting a good position. F1 Senna gonna make the record in SFR pit stops, says Formula Cringe in Twitch chat. Yeah, I had the record in FZR pit stops in Monaco. But I think F1 Senna makes the SFR record. Nah, it's probably someone in a feeder race. This isn't a feeder race. This can't make the record, man. Anyway, Ligo and Leonard are the 2 unfortunate drivers with 3-second time penalties. That's gonna really hurt their chances. Oh, people are pitting. Miniko's pitting. Why is that? Let's go back to tires. Is Miniko going to get hards now? No, it's new mediums. Okay, Miniko on new mediums now. Miniko had such good position on track. I wonder, does this track just have crazy tire drag and that just makes you switch your tires all the time? I don't know. But Miniko felt like he needed to drop those 7 positions. Those 9 positions Ooh, F1 Senna continues the unluckiest race in his entire career, maybe. Igzish is at the... Oh yeah, Igzish had that incident with Max Martin. Unclear who was at fault. It seemed like maybe Max Martin was at fault, but you can't really judge just looking at it once. You have to see it like 10 times. So now Ryu is P3 with 5 lap old hards. And he's gonna hold off to the Nord. Ryu has to hold off in the realistic Alpine. He after in this restart, he's gonna have to hold off a Ferrari, a McLaren, and a Red Bull. That's not great odds, but he's gonna try to do that. Both Williams are in the points, and their main rival AlphaTauri are both outside of the points. But given how allegedly the AlphaTauri car is absolutely shit on this track, according to Taco, they're not doing that bad. They're like not the rivals, but all the other teams are binning it constantly, and the AlphaTauri appear to just be staying out of trouble so far. Taco just got new tires, as did the Aston Martins, and that will allow him to start fresh when he catches back up at the back of the pack. Everybody's got newish tires now. They're either they're either gonna be 7 laps old or like 1 lap old when this restart commences finally. Everybody knew there would be safety cars in this Singapore race. I think what people didn't expect was that the safety cars would be without anyone DNFing. And also packed so tightly in the middle of the event. Both safety cars happened like pretty close to like the 50% point in the race. Oh, Iggs just like teleported on the track map. Scary. What can these Alpines do that we don't know about? What's their secret? I pray to Michael Massey that the safety car does go in this lap. Everybody's unlapped themselves. Not that that would stop Massey from telling the safety car to go in. Am I right? Oh, hey. There we go. Meat is back on the menu in a sec. Wiltorn using old school tactics for warming tires. Kogoda doing the same. Wiltorn gets going, keeps it clean, keeps it obvious for everyone behind. You love to see it. F1 Senna going into the pits again, trying to set the record for most pit stops ever. Just like Cringe was pointing out in his chat. Cringe can see the future. Lennart, I'm expecting Lennart to be absolutely hounding this Alpine. That's why I'm spectating it. But we also got Max Martin making overtakes here at the back, trying to get into the points. Battling Alex. Williams versus Red Bull. It's not a battle you see too often. Max Martin comes out on top. No huge surprise there. The Red Bull wins. Both of these Astons are stuck behind this Williams now. Are they going to make it work? Nope. Miniko is in the wall, and we have another safety car. This was Miniko Alex special. Should Alex have left more space? Should Miniko have completely backed out instead of doing that whole move? Only time will tell in the Incident Rulings channel. Tune in for that in a few days. Usually we post all the rulings on Wednesday. Sometimes Thursday, if I'm really slow with it. Or rather, we're really slow with it. It's not like I'm the only one writing the rulings. Formula Crew says Big Sauce War Crimes. Wasn't that Alex? I think that was Alex. I'm pretty sure that was Alex, not Big Sauce. It wasn't Williams, but I'm pretty sure it was Alex. Because Astons were stuck behind Alex, not behind Big Sauce. Big Sauce was behind the Astons. As you can see here, look, Big Sauce is behind Casper, and Miniko was in front of Casper. Okay, anyway. Ligoat is P6 now. Max Martin making up some positions there. Between those little... It was Big Sauce, really? Oh, dang. Okay, I thought it was Alex. Alright. Fortunately, I'm gonna be able to see that in Stewart's office a billion times. Anyway, so... Okay, yeah, I really thought it was Alex. Alright, yeah, anyway. Substitute, every time I said Alex, substitute that for Big Sauce. Should Big Sauce give more space, blah blah blah, etc. Max Martin making up some positions. After a disastrous start, Max Martin is back in the points. On pretty fresh new tires. Okay, 8 laps old. That's not that fresh, but it's better than nothing. He's in the points. He's staring down Alex's gearbox. He can make some moves here. And maybe catch his teammate, Ligoat, on track. After penalties, he is probably catching Ligoat because this 3-second time penalty for both for Ligoat and Leonard is going to be absolutely brutal. I'm expecting. All these safety cars, it just means that the pack is that much more bunched up, right? So at the end of this race, I'm not expecting the gaps to be huge, which means both Ligoat and Leonard are going to suffer greatly for their track limits violations. Disproportionately so. At the front, it's looking good for Rulatorn. He's been keeping these restarts clean. He's been getting away nicely in all of those restarts. He hasn't really been challenged on track. All the incidents happen behind him, and he's cool with it. And he just keeps on driving. And Kogoda has been steady in P2 as well. And with this third dramatic safety car period, Ryu's podium is looking more and more likely. Before, I was saying, oh, Ryu's gonna have to hold off the Ferrari, the McLaren, the Red Bull. This safety car period is I'm starting to enter this territory of, oh, Ryu is getting a podium here, because even if Leonard eventually gets him, you know, that time penalty helps Ryu get back on the podium, maybe. And we could have even more safety cars after this. Do not underestimate an SFR driver's capacity for absolutely murdering another driver in a corner. This is the track where the freaking Japanese dive bombing plane references happened with cringe. What was the car? I mean, sorry, what was the plane? I don't remember the name of the plane anymore, but Cringe had some dive bombs. Cringe had some historic dive bombs on this track. And the plane was referenced. And it was on Big Sauce? Oh, wow. It was on Big Sauce. T13, you say. Yeah, Miniko. See you in Stewart's office. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure you follow the channel. Since this is another ST period, Check out the channel Gaza Fundraiser in the Discord server. You can win money to make your F124 cheaper in a giveaway. If you just donate the minimum amount, which is £5, you can win like £25 in the giveaway. And that makes your F124 £20 cheaper. Can you imagine? Okay, anyway, we got another restart here. Hopefully this one is better. Ruletorn has been doing an amazing job with these restarts. And this one is no different. As Ruletorn escapes nicely. Ryu steady in P3. Ligote defending from everybody behind, from Henry in the McLaren. Some action happening in the back with the AlphaTauris. AlphaTauri is almost in the points now. If more people keep dying in front of them, they are going to eventually get into the points automatically. That is how racing works. Max Martin is so close to catching up to his teammate now on track. And has already overtaken his teammate after penalties, if you take the order and the gaps as is. Or as are, I should say. Big Sauce on Senna at the back there. Zombo versus Alex. Williams versus AlphaTauri. Now that's the kind of battle you expect instead of Red Bull versus AlphaTauri. Or rather, Red Bull versus Williams is what I was trying to say. AlphaTauri versus Williams. Now you can at least know that this is a realistic performance league. Now you can notice that. Finally. Finally. Oh, what's that? Ligote defending from Nikon. We just saw there in the back of the perspective. What was Igzich doing? Oh, Max Martin overtaking people. Casper got overtaken by the Red Bull. So many safety cars. It throws things up in the air so much. I have no idea what's gonna happen anymore with the strategies, with the tires, with the plans. What? What? There's no one there. Why is there a yellow flag? Okay, there was a yellow flag in a spot where there was no one there. I have no clue anymore what is happening. Ryu defending from Lennart here, who, as we can see, suffers a tiny bit of oversteer there at the exit of turn 6 it was. Ryu Zapio just has to hold off this Ferrari for a few more laps, and then the time penalty gets him anyway. So this is huge for the reserving Alpine driver here. He's really making Pandersfan proud with this racing so far. Formula Cringe in Twitch chat says, Max Martin, any last words? Why is Max Martin... Did I completely miss Max Martin bottling it or something? Oh man, he was doing so well. I completely missed it. Oh! Kogoda gets the lead. Ruletorn has no front wing. It was written. F1 Senna has sacrificed his front wing so many times that the ritual magically made Ruletorn lose his front wing. And now we're on for a Mercedes victory, perhaps? It could be. Kogoda in P1. Front wing fully intact. Neutral says Cringe is biased. No, that looked like Max's fault. Come on. You saw the stream. It looked like he turned in. But no, this is not my official stewarding vote. Oh, please. Why? Ruletorn just like came out of the pits and lost his front wing on the pit exit. The two-time absolutely embarrassing himself in front of thousands of SFR viewers on Twitch, and then gets a drive-through penalty. All right, sometimes you just have one of those days, you know. Even a two-time champion is not untouchable. We've seen this happen to Kogoda as well this season. Some like absolutely terrifying and terrific races, and now it's happened to Ruletorn. Yikes. Well, neutrals, you're probably happy about that as Red Bull TP. Because Ferrari are the ones challenging you in constructors, right? So you're probably happy about that happening. Okay, I've lost my mind. This is the fourth. This is the fourth safety car period. The race has been, not the race, but the event has been going on for 1 hour 40 minutes, and we're nowhere near done yet because of all these goddamn safety cars. And we started on time. I just want to point that out. We started on time. I should show tires for show. Okay, we've got all these drivers at the back jumping into the pits for softs. Hopefully they don't lose their front wing on the pit exit like Rulatorn, two-time world champion. It's driving on controller, man. It can get you sometimes. We have Max Martin, Casper, Igzish, and Taco trying their luck on softs in this restart. By the way, I say this restart, but there is no restart happening yet. It's gonna take a while before we have a freaking restart here. It's gonna be a... It's gonna take some time. Neutral says no comments. Insert clip of Bottas saying it's unfortunate with the incident running behind him on the big screen. It's unfortunate. They should have asked Daniel Ricciardo back then what he thought of the incident. Maybe he would say something more. Because he was going to be P3. Well, was he? No, wasn't he going to win anyway? Wasn't that the weird part? Yeah, he was going to win anyway, wasn't he? It's sad though for Rula. He did a good job, says Neutrals in chat. He was doing great before that, yeah. Before that calamity with the front wing happened. What's funny is he lost his front wing. And the game was like, okay, we've had 3 safety cars. I'm not calling another 4th safety car for this front wing. Just because it's laying there. And then Rulatorn goes to the pits to get a new front wing, obviously. And then on pit exit, he loses his front wing again. And then the game is like, okay, you know what? This is worth a safety car. And that's how we got a 4th one. Well, all these drivers at the front, certainly they're aiming to make these tires work now until the end, because it's going to be, what, 5 laps of racing? They're just going to make do with what they got. Ryu Zapu is now up to P2 with a driver on a track limits time penalty right behind him. Like, Kogoda makes a mistake, we could see Alpine win this race even. We could also see Ryu get on the podium in the Alpine, which would also be pretty amazing for Alpine, considering that they're Tier 3? Tier 3 car, that is. How are backmarkers doing? Backmarker teams. If you want to check those out with me. Zombo is in the points, firmly in the points, after all these other drivers jumped onto softs. I think it will be very difficult for Zombo to hold off all these soft runners like Casper Max. It's not gonna be super difficult for them to get more positions. So I'm not really expecting Zombo to have an easy time here. However, he could make something happen if he's like defensive. You never know. F1 Senna, after... Like, F1 Senna has had probably his worst race ever in his sim racing career. At least, like, certainly in SFR. Maybe not in his career, because we don't know what's been happening. But in SFR, that's his, like, worst event, right? By far. But he's in the points now, again. That's the beauty of Singapore. Anything can happen. You can have your worst race ever, and then you're back in the points. And there's 14 cars on the track. It's not like he got into the points because everyone DNF'd behind him. And there's 10 cars left, right? There's 14 cars left. Okay, let's see how Kogoda manages this race restart. Hope he does a good job just like Rulatorn before him. The previous king. Gaspel already making up positions there. Kogoda making his way smoothly through turn 3. Ryu on the back of them. We see Lee Goat battling. Turn 5. Lee Goat hits Nikon. No, it was Henry. Lee Goat hits Henry and gets back on track, but Henry's completely dead in the back. Okay, that was freaking brutal. That's probably Lee Goat at fault, but obviously I'm just talking as a commentator right now. Gonna be seeing that in the steward's office for sure. F1 Senna, who I'm kind of rooting for now after he's been through the grinder in this race. Paco is in the points in the AlphaTauri. These soft grinders are making big gains here, especially Casper. Look at Casper. P8 now on the softs. Battling Zombo. Dives down the inside of Zombo and immediately causes a pileup and freaking completely gets killed. Okay. Max Martin also suffered a collision, but I got a feeling that Max Martin collision was due to Casper losing it. So that I doubt that Max Martin is at fault here. And obviously, since, you know, it is what it is, the track is what it is, so another safety car comes out and the race is notified. And we're only going to get 2 laps of racing. You got to admit though, this has its own special charm because this has its own special charm because you have these periods of safety car that are like the main event, and then you have these like tiny sprint races in between those periods of safety car, right? So this is very unique from the driver's perspective. It's very unique and idiosyncratic from the strategy perspective as well. Neutrals in the chat says, what did you say at the beginning about clean driving? This is worse than Baku. Okay, I'm gonna quickly defend myself here. I said that they're way cleaner in SC queues about not running into each other in SC queues. And so far I've been 100% correct about that because we've seen zero incidents. We've seen 0 incidents under SC like this. Like, you know, like the ones from F1 2021 where they just like ram into each other from the back, right? So what I said was absolutely correct, and it still holds true that this league is way cleaner in terms of SCQs, right? I want to Formula Cringe pointing out that F1 Senna pitted again, which has to be the record for the most pit stops in SFR. Maybe we should ask Alex to make a poster for that. And like have the little graphic with all the tires from RLT appear on the poster somewhere. That would be so cool. And then F1 Senna has his own special moment in SFR history. I hope we don't take it too far and we don't say from now on that if someone is pitting, they're doing an F1 Senna. Because that would, imagine how quickly that would get old. Oh, Kogoda is switching tires. He's gonna pull an F1 Senna and go to a different tire compound. Or just changing her front wing. Maybe that's what's known as doing the F1 Senna. Safety car didn't go in. Ah, yeah, because it's always specific. It's always exactly 2 laps, right? So it's gonna be lap 30 and lap 31 that are the racing laps, and anyone can race on those laps, and there's no chicanery with SCs. SC called this late? What do you mean? It's not that late. The game is strict about it being the last 2 laps, right? That's the weird part in the game. So, but yeah, I also wonder like what happens if you trigger an SC in like lap 28. I guess it would just go in after 1 lap. But if you trigger an SC in lap 29 here, would it be triggered at all, or would it just like not come out because it can't? I think it would probably stop it from coming out at all, right? Unless, like you've shown, you just like stop on track forever, and then it can come out last lap. But that's not gonna happen in the normal league race, of course. It's more like a test scenario. in the lab. The absolute tragedy of Lennart and Ligo with their tiny 3-second penalties, usually in F1, it's really not that big of a deal when you have a 3-second. The gaps are not that small. Like the car behind you is like 5 seconds behind you. You have a 3-second, that doesn't change anything. You're still 2 seconds ahead of this car. But in this case, because of all these safety cars and all these incidents and all these, frankly, front wings. By the way, you guys are also joking that like, oh, there's no clean driving. We've had 5 safety cars, but like 3 were because of freaking front wings being lost in the wall. Not because of incidents between 2 drivers, but because of front wings just being like, you know, dropped to a barrier. So yeah, this honestly, this is the cleanest race in terms of the insane amount of safety cars. This is the cleanest race ever because nearly every safety car was just because someone like put it into the wall and didn't hurt anyone else. Does that count as a dirty incident? No, right? It's just like losing your front wing in the wall. You didn't hurt anyone else. You just lost your front wing. Henry, after being war crimed by Ligot, just had the freaking TIE fighters flank him. Did you guys see that? I'm glad I caught that on stream. Someone clipped that and sent that to George Lucas. The Alex is P6 in the Williams. That's big points for Williams. Also big points for AlphaTauri so far if Zumbo can keep this position. I'm going to briefly have a quick look at the tires. Zumbo is holding off like 10 people on soft. Zumbo! Okay, good luck to Zumbo. Holding off like 10 people on soft tires. Max Martin overtakes him. Might be Max Martin's last race in a while if he gets the penalty point here for an incident. I'm sure there was one. Henry versus Zumbo. Zumbo like scrapes the wall there. Tricky part of the track. How can Henry make a move here? Oh, down the inside of this corner. Sure, that works. Turn 13. Taco in the wall back there. He's dead. Yellow flags, but no safety car because no safety car allowed anymore. We've used up that well. We've used up all the water from that well of safety cars. Alex is P7 now. Max Martin dropping him. Kogoda about to start last lap in the first place. Holding off Ryu, who is P2. And Ryu's holding off this absolute Ferrari. What a Chad. Oh, Max Martin overtakes his teammate. So both Red Bulls in the top 6 now on track. Maybe not after penalties though. Bixos is battling people. We got Igzish. We got... Is that Zombo? It's Zombo losing it into the wall. Alright. Again, no safety car because no more. I feel like that would be a safety car because these safety cars are super frequent here. Just lose your front wing a little bit. Oh, Igzish teleports. Wow. Igzish with Nikon-like connection problems from Brazil. And look at that, F1 Senna loses it and dies. Why are people not, why are people not making the corners and ending up in the wall here? Can someone just like explain that to me? We got a Max Martin versus Nikon battle here. Max bumping him from the back a little bit there. Shouldn't be a big deal though. Nikon didn't lose it. Must not have been that bad. Lennart's still stuck behind this Alpine, man. Even without the track limit time penalty, maybe Lennart wouldn't be able to do this, it seems. This yellow flag is for one of the AlphaTauris. Both AlphaTauris have absolutely died in the walls on these last laps. Maybe due to incidents, maybe due to spins. Kogoda wins round 13. A very curious event. Most notably, Ryu gets the podium after Kogoda. And a realistic Alpine on the podium in P2. And Max Martin back on the podium after a pretty disastrous race. We'll see what happens after penalties with him. Lennart dropped the P5, so Nikon takes P4. Henry in the McLaren P6. Both Williams in the points, P7, P8. Igzish somehow in the points after also doing pretty badly at the start. The safety cars helping him out a little bit in P9. Casper Huge incident sends him into P10, still retains 1 point, but no cigar. And that was one of the strangest. That was definitely one of the strangest events we've ever had in SFR. And unfortunately, not in a good way, but also like not in the worst way, because it wasn't so much the drivers being dirty in corners against each other, but more about the game just being weird and it just wanting to send out safety cars constantly due to front wings being lost in the walls. Uh, so yeah, the amount of safety cars was so overt that it completely flipped the race on its head. And Kogoda and Ryu and Max end up on top. I'm gonna quickly show race director in case anybody wants to use that for their appeals. We also had some incidents for the steward's office as well, but not a crazy amount, I'd say. It's just that the amount of safety cars makes it look like there was an insane amount of incidents, right? Well, that was a weird one. Okay, I'm gonna not do interviews obviously because time is has been stretched in this one. The race took way longer than you usually expect it to. I'm gonna get into my ad read now. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps out a lot. Leave a comment even. That would be awesome. Okay, where's my ad read? I know I got some work to do as a steward in a sec to like get the tickets done. So there's my ad read. All right. SimHaven is an online racing community for everyone, even people who lose their front wings 7 times. This was SimHaven's F1 round 13 in Singapore. Event was possible thanks to WAPS, who wrote a rulebook, FB and Invite, who maintain a rating system, stewards Berju, Oliwan, Jakebrad, and Alvaro M, and of course all our awesome F1 drivers and their team principals/engineers. Our Estero Corsa Competizione branch is hosting something pretty cool pretty soon, but I'm not gonna give any details yet. Check them out in the servers channel on our Discord, or check out our website simhaven.org. You can find all the servers there, including Haven GT. That's simhaven.org again. Check out our YouTube channel, it's just SimHaven. Join the Discord server at bit.ly/SimHavenFormula. And that's where all the racing and team principling is at. We're also raising money for the victims of Gaza Strip bombings. More info on that in the Discord server. Channel is called Gaza Fundraiser. You can win Steam gift cards because we've reached our milestones. We also have a bonus milestone thanks to a very generous donation from Nameless Pie. Raffle winners will be announced when the season concludes. Help us raise money for Save the Children Fund. That is the charity. Our closest streamed event is going to be next weekend. It's gonna be F1.5 on Saturday, most likely, at 7 p.m. BST. And that's going to be round 14 Jeddah. See you there, and thank you for watching.